All right, hello everybody. This is the second episode of Road to Burbank, my little mini series that I'm doing with all the teams going to Burbank. So here we have four members of BrawL. Genre couldn't make it due to something. I don't remember what it was, but
Family.
family. Okay, so let's introduce everybody. So let's start with Cripsy as he drinks his lemon water.
Hi guys, I'm I'm Cripsy. I play AD carry for BrawL.
All right,
How's it going?
Dak.
I'm Dak. I play jungle for BrawL.
Eve?
What?
Solid, dude. It's quality.
Shut up.
Hello, I'm Ease and I play top lane.
And
Hey, I'm Jess and I play support slash controller.
okay,
Flash
so
controller.
slash controller. I like it. All right, so let's just dive into your guys' kind of history with Infinite Crisis. Like, kind of let's start with like how the team was born. So anybody can kind of just start there.
Carlos or GS, because
I
you were here the
can-
longest.
Yeah.
I can try to put everything
Sum it up.
together. Right, so me and Carlos were in the very first Dream State team with the infamous Man Chocolate. This was back in November, I think. Yeah, like November-ish. So that's kind of where we started off, and then that's where we met Kai. And basically, it was us three. And then stuff went down went kind of crazy on Dream State, and we ended up leaving. And then KGO picked us up, us three. And at the time, it was African and Game Slave and us three. And that's with the roster that we played the Winter Invitationals with. And then, come February-ish, a bunch of stuff happened with KG, and basically, we ended up getting two new members, which were Cripsy and Genre.
Was it
And-
like kind of drama-ish or like?
Nah, it was more of like actual management.
I can explain how they approached me.
Alright, go ahead.
I played League. I'd literally never met them before. Like I'd played League maybe 2 solo queue games, just like randomly met them, and I think we added this never happens, but this was like before like Curse Voice, and we like added each other on Skype, and we're like, hey, let's try hard this game, and we like tried hard, and the three of us like added each other, and then they like, I don't know, when they were looking for members or PAX East. And I don't know Carlos. What did you? I don't know what Carlos said, but he randomly messaged me on League.
Basically, okay, I'll explain it.
All right.
So me and Armando were duo queuing, and we met this tryhard Shaco player, Cripsy. And then Cripsy asked us like, "Hey, you guys wanna talk on Skype?" And I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
I thought I was gonna get raped.
Yeah, dude, I'm,
So we added Cripsy,
kind of
and then after that, we're like, "Oh, he's actually pretty good." So fast forward like 4 months, and then
yeah,
we
haven't talked to them since then.
Yeah, we never talked to him after like that 1 or 2 solo queue games. Never even like whispered him again.
We get a
So fast forward to February, where we needed to get
Yeah.
we needed to find like a 5th member, right? Like last minute.
We needed two new members in like
Yeah.
a 3-day period. It was like 3 days before the qualifiers. It was like, oh, by the way, you guys need to get two new members. And
We're like, oh god, who can we get? So I got on League and started looking for people, and I only asked 2 people. I asked some other guy that only played a Mumu, and then Cripsy. I basically messaged Cripsy and I was like, hey, you want a free trip to PAX?
Yeah, I'll explain it. Yeah, he randomly private messages me, and he's like, "Hey, you want to go to PAX East?" And I'm like, "What?" Like, yeah, sure. He's like, "All right, you want to try this game?" And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Probably not, honestly. Like,
Right.
I don't know what it is." And then he like explained it and said it's a MOBA, pretty much. You know, like it's kind of similar, like it's similar to League, and like you play a champion in a tri-lane map, blah blah blah. So then I get on to TeamSpeak with these guys. I never met Kai or Genre. And then we practiced that night. And I think the next day, did we practice the next day, or was that the tournament?
Well, basically, we had 3 days to look for people, and we found Cripsy and Genre both the day before the qualifiers.
Yeah,
So we
that was
only
it.
practiced for like
2 hours or
3
something.
games
Yeah.
before the qualifiers.
And
And we
then
won every
ba-
single game in the qualifiers.
And basically, Cripsy, we wanted Cripsy to jungle for us first.
Mhm.
And then that was kind of awkward because
I didn't like. You
Genre,
needed,
Genre was gonna play mid for sure. Cause Kai said, yeah, I know this guy that plays mid and he's good. So we're like, all right, cool. So we need a jungler, and basically,
who was AD carry?
I was gonna end up having to be AD carry, which is fine with me. But the problem that I saw with that is, okay, so Kai is gonna have to support, and Kai can only play one fucking champion. So I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll jungle. Cripsy said that he could AD carry, and then Kai can go on jungle. So
Yeah, because like when
that was what we ended
Yeah.
up doing.
they're like, yeah, you should jungle, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. I play a lot of jungle in League, and I play like when I can't jungle in League, I play AD carry.
Right.
And then over this journey that we've had as a team, I've like strayed away from jungling, and I'm pretty much only AD carry now, even in League. But yeah, they're like, you want to jungle, and I was like, okay, sure. And then I try it, and of course you don't know the map, right?
Right.
It's so different than League in terms of like map knowledge with all the drops and everything and EMPs, and so it was really really hard to like convert that right away.
Mhm.
So I told them, I'm like, I can play AD carry, and they're like, oh, okay. And then yeah, we went from there.
Okay, so judging from what you guys said, it sounds like Kai was the one who found Genre.
Mhm.
So Genre is like really just as new as Cripsy coming in, and then you guys qualified for PAX.
Yeah, it was really awkward too because there was only 3 AD carries at the time, I think, right?
Oh yeah, and people were just banning
Yes.
AD carries.
Yeah, there was Cyborg, Gaspat, and Mecha. And Mecha was permanently banned, right?
I think Mecha was permanent banned because
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah,
was
she
this in
Broken
December?
as hell.
But there were only 2 AD carries. It was Cyborg and Gaslight Batman.
This was
This
in
was
the
in
patch that
February.
minions didn't even echo yet. Like
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mecha
So yeah,
was-
that was
Mech-
when Mecha was
Mech-
broken.
Yeah,
Mecha
Mecha
was
was
so
hella
broken.
broken.
She was broken.
GA
as hell.
hadn't come out yet,
Right.
and yeah, it was just
And more
Cyborg
blue
and
beetle.
Gaslight Batman.
And so KGS at the time picked both AD carries. And
Right.
since I'm a Shaco player, I was like, I'll just play Gascat bot. And so we did.
This was when no one played API for some reason. I was like,
Right.
wait, I can just play API.
We won with the API Gascat bot. It was pretty retarded.
Okay.
To put it eloquently, sorry.
So
it was
you
pretty fun.
so you guys qualify for PAX East, and you go there and you take first place, and then afterwards you guys announce that Kai has been benched and you brought Dackinger in. So how did that acquisition kind of go?
Okay, I can basically explain this.
Alright.
So basically, when I first came in, I came in right after PAX. Like,
Mhm.
I was told by, at the time, Marty, whatever his name was.
Marty
he was
Van
like, he
Beezy.
Yeah, Marty Van Beezy messaged me on League. He's like, yo, you want to go to PAX? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And then he's like, oh, it already happened, so you can't go to PAX. So I'm like, well, that sucks. So I'm
Holy
like,
shit.
okay, whatever. So I'll see what this game's about, because they already went to PAX. So I'm like, who knows? So I came on, I joined KGS, and I was going to be their top laner at the time. But then there was like, they were playing a scrim, and then like 2 people just like left the team and just like never came back. So it was me, Supreme, Droog, and Bros, because Vex broke up after PAX.
Right.
So I played with them for a while, and then some other team messaged me that they wanted me to come play for them, and I was like, yeah, sure. So I left KGS, but that team never worked out. And then these guys just messaged me one day on Skype. They're like, hey, do you want to come play for us? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And that's basically it. Like,
Okay.
More or less. That's
more
like,
or less, that's
that's
basically
like
what
that's like bare bones. There's
Yeah,
a
that
lot
was
of
like that was the
other-
fast track.
There's
version.
like drama and crap, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'd rather
Drama
not get
with
into
that.
it.
Okay.
'Cause there's
Drama that nobody knows about.
All right, we don't
Yeah.
have to talk about it. I was just
Yeah.
wondering, just because I wanted to follow kind of the timeline. All right, so you guys pick up Dackinger, and then you guys look pretty good, and then like fast forwarding to now, you guys are first place in the rankings for ESL. So you're like the first seed, I think, going into Burbank.
Yeah.
As of right now, the details for how the tournament is played out hasn't been announced yet, so we're just kind of speculating as to how the format is. But you guys are the first seed. How do you guys feel going into Burbank?
I feel pretty confident. I think. I mean, as long as we practice,
Yeah.
I think as long as we practice, I don't think there's a possibility of us losing.
Yeah.
That's I mean, that's kind of really confident,
like-
but
Right.
If we don't mess up like really hard or like get caught off with a surprise by like any random picks or like some weird strat,
jeez, yeah.
I don't think we should lose. Like we shouldn't lose. I'll say it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, we've dropped games to all of the teams, you know, that are going, so it's not like out of this world. But generally speaking, in like best of 3 or best of 5 type scenarios, usually, like, I don't think we've ever lost a best of 3.
No.
So.
Okay.
Well, unless it's Gotham Heights.
Yeah, that's true. Gotham Heights gets us.
God.
Dude.
Right. See,
That map is
you know,
evil.
the format hasn't been announced yet, so it could be like surprise. You're playing.
Yeah,
Gotham
best of
Heights.
ones, or no, best
Yes.
of ones are all around.
Best
Oh
of
my
ones
God.
in Gotham Heights.
Best
Oh
of one
my-
Gotham Heights.
EU was announced, I think. So it was best of 3 in EU from what I read.
It's probably going to be the same. I don't think
Yeah.
they'll change
I
it.
don't see it.
I don't
being
think so.
Very
So
Isn't EU in Cologne?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's cool.
Collector.
So they're having like they're going to like the ESL studios in Cologne, and you can buy
That's-
tickets and stuff for that.
That's
Yeah.
sweet.
$3 €3 tickets.
Are they €3? I didn't check out the price.
€3 and 50.
Oh,
350.
50 what?
3.5
350 euros.
euros.
I don't know. Yeah, 3.5 euros. I don't know what the thing is. It's not
Change.
euros. Yeah, I don't know what the coins are.
Used to be francs, I think.
I don't know what it is. Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is everybody's second LAN except for Dak.
Yeah.
Just because IC hasn't really had that many LANs. So this is your first LAN, Dak. How are you, like, kind of nervous going into it, or are you just kind of?
Not really. Like I've always like I've played a lot at like local tournaments for like league and stuff like that
Mhm.
near my place. So like I don't think it'll be too big of a difference.
Mhm.
So like I don't
He
think
has
it's
to, he has to
hopefully-
share a hotel with us. It's going to be scary.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to share a hotel with those guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I was just wondering, just because PAX East was like I think a lot of people's first LANs, and I really wanted to like ask everybody like, oh, you know, do you get like the jitters like before the match? And I just
Like
never...
I'm sure I'll have like jitters before our first match, but I don't think it should affect me. Like
Mhm.
I don't think it'll be bad.
Playing on LAN, like.
If
is a
anything,
totally
I'll play
different
better because
experience.
there's no lag.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like playing on
Oh
LAN,
my god.
people
Oh my-
forget that one, it's on a closed client, and two, there's always going to be things that are different. Like it could be as little as like the height of your chair, or like you don't have enough, or you don't have the same amount of room on your table that you do at home to move your mouse. Like little tiny things. At PAX East for us, I think the biggest one was that stupid stereo system that they had for
Bass.
the announcement.
Like
The
moving the
bass
mouse.
was under the stage, so like whenever
was-
someone would make a play or like they'd have like sound effects from in game,
Mhm.
like a car exploding or some shit, the whole like table you were sitting on would literally like shake and your mouse would just start moving.
That was really bad for me. My mouse
Like-
was moving all over the place.
Trying to like last hit, you're like misclicking everywhere. It was
Right.
crazy. But,
Okay.
like stuff like that, you can't.
I don't think that will happen again. I think
No, it's
I
at a
know.
studio.
Um,
And it's at a studio. So
Yeah,
it's
is
like,
Turbine letting you bring your own peripherals this time? Just because at PAX East, I remember they kind of forced you guys to use like their peripherals and their setups.
they-
they let us change the peripherals.
yeah, they let us change it out. They just, I think that you couldn't use a different headset just because it was
Right.
it was an
It was
inline
kind of noise
with the Astros.
canceling. Yeah.
Yeah, but the headset, I mean, it's just sound.
Mhm.
It's not like you're playing like a shooting game where you need like 3D sound and shit.
Mhm. Okay, so let's go into talking about the other teams that will be going to Burbank. So it will be you guys, Curse, Team C, and Surreal. So let's start with Curse, just because Curse has kind of been this kind of question mark in my head. So they were number 1 in the ESL rankings for a while, and then you guys recently just overtook them at the end. How do you guys feel about Curse? Because they've been going through some roster changes, like with Team C and like swapping members back and forth and stuff. So I'm just curious as to how you guys feel Curse will do coming into Burbank.
Jack, you want to take this?
Yeah, I guess I'll take it. I don't think Curse will do that well compared to the other teams. Like, I still feel that the strongest roster Curse had was the original roster that Curse had when they were first announced.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think any of the changes that they've made so far, like, I don't want to like BM anyone, but I don't think any of the changes so far have like proved that they've worked. So like, I don't know, just like going off of like placements and stuff, the original roster is probably the strongest roster, and I'm not too afraid of their new roster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
does anybody else have thoughts on Curse?
That's what happens when you don't use your shot caller anymore. Your primary shot caller
That's
isn't on the
what
team
I was
anymore.
gonna say. They don't have a. I mean, I'm not on their comms, but
Right.
like Mishkit was like a designated shot caller,
Mm-hmm.
and like they may not have thought he was the best mechanically. That's not our
Right.
deal. Whatever reason they kicked him for or let him go, that's their thing. But you need like the reason that we also roster changes is we needed a designated shot caller, and we made Dak that shot caller.
Mm-hmm.
We have secondary shot callers too, but like you need communication within the team, and you need
Right.
synergy. And building synergy when you like consistently swap, like I think there was a time where like 1 week they had like one person playing mid, and then the next week it was AD carry, and then the next week it was support, and then the next week it was jungle. Literally, like back to back.
yeah.
I think Khan played mid, then AD carry, then he played jungle, and then he played support, or something like that. It was 4 roles out of the 5 roles available, and they just kept swapping players around, and it's like, I don't know, maybe it's just really hard to build synergy when you're all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Eus, do you have any thoughts on Curse?
I can't take that picture.
It's a little cute puppy dog.
Yeah, I feel like out of the 4 teams going right now, Curse would probably be the easiest, just because they've done too many roster swaps. They're not consistent.
Mm-hmm.
It's just speculation, though. They could
Right.
like come out
Yeah.
and like be
They're probably
amazing.
they're probably the most wild card team.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
no one expects them to do well, but they could. But
Right.
One of
think that's
their,
such
I
a-
remember one of their roster swaps where they did really good 1 week, right? And then they were like, "Yeah, this is the roster we're gonna beat everyone with." And then like they lose the next week, and they're like, "Yeah, we're fucking replacing everyone." You can't do that just because you have one bad game or like one bad week.
Right.
You can't be like, "Okay, we're replacing 3 people. It didn't work out."
Mm-hmm.
That's stupid. Like you fix your problems.
Mhm.
We've only roster swapped like once.
It's, since all
Yeah.
5 of us
Yeah.
joined.
So let's move on to Team C. So it was recently announced, I think Anuvin or something tweeted it out, that Team C, like 3 members of Team C are the top 3, have the top 3 MMRs in NA. I think it's I'm Going Pro, Play to Win, and Achiri, all in some order. I know Achiri is 3rd though. So Play to Win and I'm Going Pro are like 1 and 2. So they've been kind of hyping themselves up as like, we're really good and we're very like we've been playing together for a long time and we've been practicing a lot and we're going to come to Burbank and expect and if we don't get 1st or 2nd, we will be disappointed in ourselves. So what do you guys think about Team C coming into this?
Wants to take this one?
Armando?
I'll take it if Armando doesn't. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the whole thing. Just go and take it.
Team C, what do you think?
What Team C? Just thoughts on Team C in general, placement, everything.
They seem to be really good at basically skirmishes,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that's as far as it goes. Everything else is subpar.
So by everything else, do you mean like laning, team fighting?
Laning and team fighting, subpar. Skirmishing, really good.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good at skirmishing. Yeah.
I feel like
They-
the fact that they point out MMRs like means completely nothing at
Yeah.
all.
I think
Yeah,
MMR in this
absolutely.
game works really differently because it's really dependent on how many games you have played.
It just
And
means they
all of
play
them have like
much.
two or three times the amount of games that we have played.
Well, let me just throw this out there to clear that up. Yeah, they probably like that's great. You know, congrats on doing that, having the top 3 MMRs. But I can't tell you the last time that I've played a solo queue or even a duo queue, like like pub on Gotham Divided. I think the only time that we've done that is on my block of the Infinite Crisis on Page stream. Like we practice, we scrim
On
in
other-
customs,
Yeah.
and we play other games. Because just right now, because the game's in a kind of weird state with the
Right.
September update not being live yet.
Mhm.
And so that, like waiting for 20, 30, 40 minutes for an IC game that's going to last 15 minutes because they see 2 or 3 people with a tag and then like completely destroying or completely getting stomped versus playing solo queue and I don't care, League, Dota, any other MOBA.
Right.
It's just I don't know. I think it's kind of a bad use of your time if you like want to build mechanics, so to speak,
Or team
So-
synergy.
or team synergy, yeah, for that matter. So that's great that that they have that, but I don't think I've been on that MMR roster in probably like a month and a half, just because you have to play, and
Right.
I haven't touched it. So and
Uh,
I don't think any of these guys have. Have you? I don't. Besides maybe Dak.
I think Genre's still like level 20.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Genre
exactly.
like literally is level 20.
Right.
Everyone's like
So-
level 50 now, and I've been level 44 for like 2 months.
Yeah,
I think I'm still level 39.
I'm
Like,
level
if ranked-
32, so
Like if ranked is
Level
released
32?
and they're
I'm level
like
32.
Dang.
Yeah. like if ranked is released and they're top 3 after like a week, I'll say yeah, congratulations then, but
Right.
till then,
Doesn't mean anything right now.
No.
yeah.
There's like 50 people that play on that actually, have the MMR that
Like I don't want to bash them and like they're still a good team.
Oh,
and
they're
all that
still
stuff.
definitely.
I don't
and
think
honestly-
saying your MMR is high means anything at all. Like
But the rest of what you said is definitely true. They're probably, I think they're the strongest team.
besides, yeah.
Mhm. So you think they're the strongest team coming into Burbank besides you guys?
Uh,
Yeah. I would say
yeah,
so.
I guess I probably yeah.
But it's
I
like
feel
I
like
don't
after
even.
their last roster swaps, how they like swapped back Achiri and Pro. I'm going Pro, right?
Mhm.
Because they were on Curse. After that swap, Team C became a lot better than Curse.
Yeah.
I always
think
forget
Achiri-
who's on. I always forget who's playing for which team because I don't even look at names in game.
Right.
They just swapped
like-
so many times.
I don't know who. I don't even know who's on what team right now.
Mhm.
All I remember is when they had like both them on like Curse and C. They're like, we're one team of 10 people, and we're like, what? What does that even mean?
Curse Academy, dude.
But
Yeah.
what were you saying about Achiri? Someone was
I
saying
think-
something about Achiri.
I think Achiri is definitely like a top laner, and when they moved him to Curse to play jungle, that experiment didn't really work.
Mhm.
So when Team C moved him back to top lane, I think they became a
Yeah,
lot better.
that was a good change for sure.
Because like when like I remember way back when like Mishka was still on Curse and Team C was like had a cherry top and all that stuff, like both those teams were both like really good and like it was like a top 3 battle every single week in ESL between like us, them, and C,
Right.
or us, Curse, C. And it was like when we didn't really know for certain if we were gonna win or not. Like it was close games either way, like hour-long matches.
Right.
And then when they did the roster changes, it just got fixed. Like we were at an advantage, and they moved back, and it got a little bit better, but we were still at an advantage. So like, it set them behind. But I think Team C fixing it back to the way it was definitely helped them
Mhm.
a lot more than Curse not fixing things. So
Okay. So let's move on to Surreal. So Surreal is this team that kind of struggled a little bit in the ESL rankings, and then once the Burbank LAN was announced, they kind of they picked up Crashy,
Overdrive. Yeah.
and they went ham. I want
Yeah,
to
they did.
say, and they managed to clinch that 4th place spot. So, what do you guys think about Surreal going in? Do you think they can carry like this momentum from like playing super well in ESL to play well at Burbank? They are using a sub for support, so let's
Using Suda, right?
yes,
Yeah. Well, I think the LAN experience is like just fun in general. Like even like okay, there's only going to be prizing for 2 teams, right? I think prize pool for 2, like first and second, probably. I don't know,
Probably.
but
I don't know if that's been announced yet or anything.
okay. But even if like, even if a team doesn't win, just being able to like go to another location to play a video game is like amazing. Like it's an awesome concept. Esports is a really cool idea.
Mhm.
So the fact that they were able to grind that, and there was like a 4-way tie, or like really close 4-way tie on ESL.
Right.
So the fact that they got their stuff together, they made some roster changes. Crashy, I think, had some issues at first with like Legion. He couldn't like play on his own team because he worked and like had real life stuff going on.
Mhm.
And then like the LAN was announced, and everyone's like, "Oh shit!" Like we gotta go. And we've met Crashy before. He's a great guy, and we all had fun. So seeing them again is gonna be great, and Pseudo too. So I'm really excited to see them again and everything that involves with the LAN. So I think what they did is great, and the fact that they were able to distinguish themselves from those other, I think it was 3 teams.
I think it was
Justice, Flipside, and I'm forgetting the 4th.
Justice, Flipside, and
Reason Gaming.
Reason. RG.
Yeah, RG. So yeah, the fact that they were able to pull it out at the end, that's great. So
Mhm.
kudos to them. It's gonna be fun.
How do you feel about like their strength coming into Burbank though?
I think they're kind of like they focus a lot of gold on the 2 people on their team and hope that they can hard carry the game for them. Like, I feel like they have weak spots, and like really like their team I feel has more like ups and downs in certain areas than other teams. Like, I'm not going to point fingers at like who I think is stronger or weaker, because I'm not going to do that.
Right.
But I just feel like they have certain people on their team that are stronger than the average and weaker than the average.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if like we key on that, we'll be, and we have been, I think we'll be perfectly fine against playing them.
Mm-hmm.
So like they're a strong team, but like if you take away their 2 strong people or roles or whatever, we win the game almost every single time.
GSEs, do you have anything to add on to this?
I think what you mentioned about them carrying momentum,
Mm-hmm.
I think that stopped after they secured their 4th place in the ESL standings. Like, for the past couple of days that we played against them, it just feels like they're not trying as hard.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. It just feels like they don't care what happens in the game, if that makes any sense. It feels like they give up after they get into a deficit very early. As in, you can tell that they're not planning ahead, if that makes any sense, to try to make a comeback in the game and stuff like that. It just kind of seems that they're just walking around, seeing you take all their objectives, and they're like, oh my god, they're taking everything. Instead of planning, oh, what can we do here?
Right.
What comes after? If that makes
It's like they
any
had
sense.
slow shot calling and stuff like that. Like
Yeah, like it's slow shot calling. There
like
you
they're
go.
lackadaisical, basically.
And that wasn't happening before.
Okay. So also, I want to bring up the fact that Pseudo will be going instead of Picasso. How do you guys see that? Was Picasso really good at his role? Is Pseudo a worthy replacement?
I think it's going to be a downgrade for certain, because Picasso is a really good support for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how good Pseudo is going to be at support, because like he plays mid, so like I don't really know. I haven't seen a lot of him play support, so like I'm sure he'll do fine, but like I think Picasso is a really good support player. Like, when I tried making a team, I tried getting him on my team, so
Right.
I respect him, and I thought he was really good. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's definitely gonna hurt them in the long run for Burbank.
Crip CGS, do you have any thoughts on Picasso and Pseudo?
You have anything, Cripsy?
Yeah, sure. Pseudo's a good player mechanically and everything. So the hardest part isn't gonna necessarily be like whether or not he can play the role, because he can play the role. But it's gonna be what came down to the other issues with the other teams is the roster swapping always sets you back in synergy. I don't care who you are or what what you're capable of. Like, changing out members who provide information and tactical advantages and calling things out, and just especially in the duo lane. Like if I had a sub for GS in a LAN that was 10K prize pool, I'd probably be really upset.
Right.
So because the bot lane has to have the most synergy in order to perform well. So it's not going to be whether or not he can play the role. He can play the role. It's going to be whether or not he synergizes and meshes well with the AD carry. So that I feel for them. It sucks. But you gotta work with what you got. So.
Right. So GS, do you have any thoughts on Picasso as a player, and like what BrawL is going to be missing when they go to, or not BrawL, what Surreal is going to be missing when they go to Burbank?
I think Picasso is a really good player as well, and I think that in terms of at least just laning, for the most part, they're about the same. And it's just gonna come down to how well he can clear / ward, just basically vision management for his team. And also, what I don't know is if Picasso was kind of very active in the shot calling, and if Pseudo can do the same. But in terms of laning, about the same.
Okay. So when I was talking to Team C, and they said that Picasso is like the controller support player that will actually play like true kind of support. So like Poison Ivy and
utility champions.
Yeah, utility-based champions. And Pseudo, having played mid, is more about these carry kind of champions like Joker and Green Lantern, etc., etc. Do you think that this kind of stylistic change between the two supports is going to kind of harm Surreal?
I don't think it will necessarily harm them too much, because mainly GL, but Joker serves as his basically, he can fill the support role just as good. It's basically a counter engage, because the best supports right now are just stuff that engages with ISIS, and Joker just counters that altogether. He's like the opposite of ISIS, if that makes any sense. So I mean, as long as he can play Joker fine, then they should have a problem in terms of the different champions that they play.
Right. Okay. So, going into like let's talk about like the community's kind of perception of your guys' like chances. So, you guys have been winning a lot of the Go Fours, the monthly finals. You guys pretty much always show up. I think you've won every single one of them. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So, I think the community perception of you guys like coming into Burbank and smashing faces is pretty high, just based on like your ability to show up when it like really matters. How do you guys feel about like your community perception of your team?
I think you both basically hit what we think is.
I think in terms of like fans, like we're probably like, besides John's random Mexico like Facebook post that he does, like we don't really have like the fan base, like the IC fan base, like all the people that are always in Twitch chat every time IC goes live, like because like you said, those other players always are in solo queue and always active in the community and things of that nature. They definitely have the bigger fan base for IC. Because we come on to scrim and we come on to play, and that's and play the solo queue.
Yeah.
So we don't have as much fans. I mean, people may like know about us because we win the ESL, but I think we probably have the smallest fan base just because of like also like Curse and C are so close, tight knit teams, and SG kind of same thing that they all talk to each other a lot and everything from what I see.
Right.
I see. so I don't know. I think we are outmatched in that category. But
okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up with one final question. How do you guys like think? All right, if I'm gonna give you all 4 teams, right? and you had to list them all in order. Who's getting first, second, third, fourth? What are the standings like? So let's start with Cripsy.
It's like, is this like a perfect world vacuum type setting thing where everything goes well and no one, or like
just what your personal opinions are on who's going to get like first, second, third, fourth?
Okay, I mean, I want to be confident and say that we get first, just so I have some self-dignity. Second is like honestly the hardest spot out of the group. I think because it's very, very like indicative of how the teams have been playing recently, and the only time we see them play, because we don't, obviously no one really wants to scrim each other. I don't know about the other teams if they're scrimming each other, but we, for example, don't scrim those other teams unless we have to play them in an event. Just you want to reveal as little as possible before lands like this that have money on the line.
Right.
So knowing how they're going to play, like if Kerr shows up like they were when in the mid and beginning of ESL, that's going to be pretty scary, right? Obviously, and it's gonna be those hour-long grueling, game bugging matches at 75 minutes or whatever.
Oh boy!
Yeah.
Please do not remind me.
So we don't want that. We don't want that curse to show up. We want the more recent curse, who is a little bit more discombobulated, to show up, obviously. But if they show up like the first curse, then I think they'll probably take second. But if not, then Team C is for sure. I think Team C is like just the most consistent out of the other three teams, I want to say. I don't know. That's kind of a big statement. But here's the kicker. SG can pull the cheese. I know that SG, because it's not really cheese, but just like different meta strats, like double 80 carry comp, or because Crashy's been playing for so long, he knows like all the champions.
Right.
The unconventional jungle picks, for example, or Azure Fire playing. I know Khan does it too for Curse, but like 80 carry or like hybrid carry mid.
Right.
And that's kind of the kicker. I think SG has that like cheese up their sleeve that if they pull it out in the best of 3 and it's like 1-1 and then that final game is the determinant.
Right.
That could spell victory for them. So like I said, I don't know. I think if the playing field is even and everything works out in a perfect vacuum scenario, and Curse plays like they have the potential to, then Curse C SG.
Okay.
Which is the seed order.
Right.
So that's kind of rational, I guess. I don't know.
Dackinger, let's go to you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to say that I think we come in first because literally
Okay.
So conceited,
so
Jack. Jeez.
Let's
all
say you
I was
guys
gonna.
go. Everybody says you guys go first, second, third, and fourth. I'm changing the question.
Okay.
It's messed up
Second.
Sorry.
Well, yeah. Second, I'm gonna have to. That's tough.
It's tough, right? Yeah.
I don't think. I think honestly, right now, I don't see it being any other team than Team C. Truthfully, I don't think Curse has got their stuff together. I compared to the way they used to play and now, I don't think they're as strong as they were. So I don't know if they fixed that. We haven't played them in a while, but I think Team C is the better team right now. So I think Team C is gonna get second.
Oh, Dak, your mic.
Your
Yeah,
mic's dying.
calm down.
What? My mic is dying?
Yep.
It's like it's like staticky. It's weird.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it probably came on. No, it probably check the connection to your computer. It's probably logged out.
Okay. I don't know. Whatever. Is it still?
Yeah, you can't talk right now.
It's really staticky.
It's
like
really
really bad.
staticky.
Unplug it. Plug it back in.
Yeah.
Hello?
Okay.
Oh,
You're
it's
good.
good.
You're good.
Okay, we good now?
Yeah, you're good.
So as I was saying, I think it's gonna be Team C, second, hands down. Third, I personally think it should be SG, but Curse has had their number for a long time. I don't think SG's beaten Curse ever. I could be mistaken, but I don't think so. So I think just recent, off that, I think Curse is gonna win, and also the fact that SG has a sub that I think they're probably the least favored off of me. to win. So I think it's going to be us, C, Curse, SG.
Okay. Let's go to Ease.
Well, I'm gonna have to say the same thing as Dak. I don't see SG being able to beat Curse or C.
Mhm.
Unless, well, it's a best of 3, right? So obviously they could get like those one game, like that one game where they just pull something crazy and win.
Right.
But in a best of 3 scenario, I think that SG loses to pretty much every team.
Mm-hmm.
And between C and Curse, I feel like C is a lot better right now. Just from we fought them, they were so much harder than Curse.
Mm-hmm.
When we fought Curse the last time,
Good
I think it was
20
like
minute, 20 minutes.
we were like, wait, what? I was before the game. I remember before that game, I was like, oh, it's Curse. Here's a 1-hour game. But it was like 20 minutes.
It's like a 20-minute FF or something.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like Curse. I don't know what's wrong with them, but C will definitely get second and Curse third.
Mm-hmm. GS, can you talk right now, or is he still kind of gone?
Armando.
I want to say another big thing is
No.
Curse. Like, well, in the past they like to stall out games, right?
Mm-hmm.
We never had 1-hour long games against anyone else except Curse. I was like, what are they doing? They're just all gone from the map. They just turtle to an hour. But basically, you know how they changed the death timers now?
Right.
We just killed them. Like, the game's over. They can't stall forever because the death timers are so long now that I feel like that
team
really
fight, you
hurt
can
Curse.
win.
I feel like that hurt Curse the most out of every team.
Mm-hmm.
That change.
I remember, I think casting like my first week of ESL.
I remember that too. That was grueling for you, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that was terrible. That was terrible.
It
I
really,
was like,
a lot of fun, right?
oh,
Good
that
experience.
was so
Your
fun.
voice hurt.
2 games and a best of 1, dude.
Yeah, 2 games in a best of 1, and they were both an hour long. Love it. I love it.
Wasn't even the finals.
It wasn't even the finals. Was the best part.
Dude, how do you think like Freak and those guys feel with those best of 5s, like 5 games? It's crazy.
That would be grueling.
6 hours of casting.
So, I don't know. Depending on how Burbank is, we'll see how Axlab, Duffy, and the third mystery caster.
It should. I think
Axel
it's gonna be Axel Toss.
Axel
Toss?
Is it?
I don't think it's a miss yet. Well, I don't know if it's confirmed.
Well,
but
when I asked Christina, because I actually wanted to see if I could maybe cast a game, she was like, "Oh, we have everybody."
I
was
think.
like-
I think it should be Axel Toss. Like
Right.
it should
they've been hyping it, so
Right. Okay.
the return or whatever.
So I'm just gonna assume that GS is busy.
I think his he's got like background noise right now or something.
Right.
But
Okay.
you can read what I think he wrote his prediction in the call.
Yeah, he didn't.
Okay. No.
He said
Did he?
C Curse SG.
Okay. So he says it's gonna be C Curse SG. So everybody pretty much agreed there. Okay. So I think that's gonna be it for the show. So you guys have any final words, shout outs, plugs, sponsors, etc.?
Cripsy.
Yeah, sure. Shout out to our sponsors, Gamdius, Gunner, Sonic, and Dendrick Slayer, I think it's called. And also to Teammate, who just qualified for LCS League of Legends. Teammate is like our sister team. They're also sponsored by Gamdius, so awesome for them. Good job, Maple Street.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, shout out to Turbine. Thank you for hosting this LAN coming up. We appreciate it. And good luck to all the other 15 players that we're going to be meeting soon. And also Blade Lord Cal, thank you for having us here.
Dak, you have any shout outs?
Shout out to Genre for being here right now. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
No, I think Cripsy got all of them. So yeah.
All right.
Cripsy pretty much summed it up.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Cripsy.
All right.
Spokesperson, yes.
All right. Thank you guys for watching.